Let's do an episode of podcast right now. What do you say, boys?
Okay.
Podcast right now.
Right now.
Podcast right now. Yeah. Welcome to Podcast Right Now, episode 193. It's October 9th, 2021. Spooky Halloween October month. Ooh, a ghost, a ghoul. There's a zombie in my pool. Hello. On the pod today we have the one, the only Chirp Daily, aka the $1,000 dog. Welcome, Chirp, to the pod.
What's up, boys?
Yeah. Also joining, I'm doing well. How are you? How is your day? How are you?
I'm good. I had a nice fall day. I went to go see some pumpkins.
Oh.
Had an apple cider slushy. Lights out. Fall day.
An apple cider slushy. What will they think of next? I've had it hot. I've had it cold. I've not had it slushed. Also,
I shot apples out of a goddamn cannon. I forgot all about this.
You did like a potato gun? Yeah, I want to get Joe.
Our third.
I want to get Joe on the board. Also joining us, he's legally a friend of the family. He's a wise man. We haven't had him on in a while. It's really cool to. This is a big get for us. It's a big get for the podcast. Welcome, TV's Joe Concerto to the mix. Hello, Joe.
Hey, no, thanks for having me on the podcast. I was actually, it has been a minute.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering where I was. Was in a coma. Did you guys know this? Did you get my texts?
I thought I read something. Yeah, I thought I read something.
From the coma?
Yeah, you sent your text from the coma.
I did, yeah. Well, it was a crazy thing that happened to me. I was actually attacked viciously by my yoga instructor. And, he put me into the coma. But no worries, police are on the case. They think it was premeditation.
Because of yoga?
Yeah, right, because they were going to meditate.
What's the pre part? Oh, okay.
They were going to meditate,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're out of that coma, and I'm sorry that you were viciously attacked.
Yeah, you got to check your coma text next time.
Is there any type of attack that's not vicious? I feel like you always hear those words together. Viciously attacked. Is there ever an attack that's just like kind of half-assed? Everyone was fine. We don't even know why we wrote up a report on it. It's a vicious attack. You never hear about any other kind of attack.
Yeah, I think like if there are attacks that aren't successful. Like if somebody comes at you with a pair of scissors and then, like they trip on their shoelaces they tied together earlier. That's technically an attack, but nothing happened.
Okay.
I don't know if that does count as an attack.
Be an attempt.
Yeah, that would just be
attack.
An accident or something.
Do you think contact has to be made for it to constitute an actual attack?
A verbal attack, you can do that.
Intent has to be there for it to be an attack. If you could kill someone with scissors, but not attack them, is my contention.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
you could kill someone with scissors, but not attack. So if you held the scissors out and then they fell?
Yeah. I mean, if you were running and fell with them, and just cut their throats open with a kitchen knife.
Okay. No, that's a good point.
As long as you didn't mean it, I don't think that's an attack. It would just be a tragic accident, depending on who the person was.
Yeah, it might not be that tragic. Might be an okay accident.
I think what I really want to know, what Kevin really wants to know, is did you get revenge on this fucking yogi who screwed up your life for a couple months and you weren't able to be on your podcast? Was there reparations? Did you hunt this man or woman or just non-gender specific entity down and exact justice? That's what we want to know.
I mean, you never really want to extract justice on a yogi. They're notorious for having justice be inextractable from them.
Is that true? I've never heard that about yogis.
First thing you read about yogis, yeah.
They are hard to get revenge on, so don't try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
if you do, you might find yourself getting stuck in the goo.
Maybe you should kidnap this yoga instructor, tie them to a chair, make them watch like the Hunting Channel or something, and then make them eat like factory farmed chicken tenders. Make them listen to like Metallica. Just
how hard it would be to
them,
kidnap a yogi and tie them down. They're so flexible. They could
it's
just
true. He'd probably wiggle out.
and right around.
Yeah.
Downward
don't have
dog
to
their
eat.
shit out of your grasp.
They can live for like 80 years only feasting on sunlight.
Yeah. And then he would have Stockholm syndrome, and Joe would be like, "All right, you can go. This is over. It didn't work." He looks at you, he says, "Namaste."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Egbert from the Key sends it, delivers.
I eat, pray, love that joke. I'm assuming there was some yoga in that. I don't know. It's a bit of a reach.
Yeah. I feel like my abilities of making jokes, they're going downward, dog. I got
Some of the
nothing.
best yoga jokes are the ones that you dull seam.
Yeah, you're right. That last one seemed like a bit of a stretch. Kevin, as soon as you want to just go ahead and throw yours in there, he gets to be Judge Julian executioner over there. Who's winning between me and Joe right now on yoga jokes?
Spandex. It's you,
Okay.
but I want to see what Joe can do.
Okay.
I'm just a poser.
He's calling you a poser. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoga mat. Anyways, we should move on. Lots to talk about today. We got, it's been a minute. I have no excuse for why the podcasts are so spaced out, and I refuse to try to invent one. Been a busy summer, right? Lots going on. Families, bikes, fitness. It's not summer anymore. We're now into fall, so we should all be here every week rocking this pod.
Did we do a podcast over the summer? We must have had at least one.
We did the math on it. We did a couple. We did one in June and we did one in August. Right now we're kind of a once a month podcast. Maybe that's just our new release schedule. That's fine. But anyways, we're glad to have you back. We're going to talk about some stand-up comedies. Of course, we're going to get into some movies. We love to talk cinema on the pod. It's Sober October, so we'll do a little Sober October check-in. There's a cool concert that me and Joe are going to at the end of the month, and it kind of ties into some movie conversation that we have set up.
You guys should come to the concert. Everyone should come.
Let's just start there. Me and Joe, he called me. Well, it starts like this. I went and saw the Venom 2 movie, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. We just had a rare weekend where my mother was watching my kids, and me and wife decided to go get some sushi and then go see a flick. And she claims, I was like, look and see what movies are up. And she reported back to me, there's nothing. There's no movies. There's nothing to see. I'm like, oh, bummer. It'd been fun to see a movie. Let me take a look real quick, just in case you failed to spot a good movie. And I got on there. I was like, yo, Venom's out. And she was like, which is the right reaction. The first Venom movie with Tom Hardy wasn't great. And this one's about the same deal as far as, ranking it or whatever. It's like a solid 5 or 6 out of 10, but just kind of fun. I don't know, fun.
These
action.
are both PG-13 Venom movies.
They are, yeah. I noticed that.
That's kind of where your problem might lie.
Yeah, especially with Carnage. I mean, Carnage is he's played by Woody Harrelson, and he's a serial killer in the comic book, and also they leaned off of, in the comic book, he's kind of like a Southern boy serial killer, probably like it has a couple rebel flags, kind of white trash serial killer.
They should have called him Barnage.
Barnage? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. He's a redneck.
Ah,
Like a
Does he have
barn.
a barn?
a barn.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that Woody Harrelson is a natural-born killer.
Well, and I bet he was kind of tapping into some of that natural-born killer. That character he played was Mickey and Mallory. Anyways, so not a great movie, either of them. But Carnage or Venom 2 succeeds in that it's a 90-minute movie. So at least it's not 2 hours long, and we really appreciate that here at the pod. And so, yeah, I had a good time. We had a good time. The only thing that pissed me off was there's a band called Green Jelly, and in the late 90s, because I'm an old man and I remember these things, there's a video game called, was it Carnage Rules or Maximum Carnage? I think it was just
Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, Maximum
It was also
Carnage.
not the late 90s. It was like 92 or 3.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, that's
So,
the
yeah.
Super Nintendo era.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, and we had it on Sega Genesis, and it was based on the comic book miniseries Maximum Carnage, and introduced a whole bunch
wasn't
of
no miniseries. It was like 16-parter. For I don't know if there were other comics tying it in, but just for the Spider-Man titles, it was like 14 or 16. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
That was when I was trying to collect.
Yeah. And so anyways, this band, Green Jelly, did a song called Carnage Rules for the video game, and it was like one of my first cassettes ever as a kid, and I listened to it a lot, and I was really bummed they couldn't sneak it in there. There's a whole song all about the Spider-Man villain, Carnage, and I don't know if it was a legal issue. I was joking with you, Joe, that like probably would have cost them $17 to pay the rights to use this song, but I don't know. I guess it wouldn't have fit in. The rest of the soundtrack was pretty hip-hop heavy and orchestral score stuff, so I don't know.
You definitely could have made some sort of a Carnage montage where that
I thought
works
maybe
itself in.
even a ringtone, like it could have just popped up for just a second on someone's ringtone. If you were a super dork, you would have noticed it. But anywho, Joe found tickets to this band, Green Jelly, and it's at the same place we saw the Iron Maidens and a bunch of like 80s metal cover bands, Ozzy Osbourne. Who was the third, Joe?
Motley Crue was the other one.
Yeah.
Who were actually better than real Motley Crue. John, do you know we've been pronouncing it incorrectly this whole, like they didn't change, they changed the spelling, but there's an umlaut over the Y, so it is still technically pronounced Green Jello.
I noticed that.
Yeah, our good friend Harry had some words for me on that when I was like, hey, do you want to come see Green Jelly? And he's like, wait a minute, dog, there's an umlaut. And so I looked into it, and he's totally right. They changed the spelling, but
I wasn't even aware that that's what you called it, an umlaut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Kevin left us. Kevin, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, you both sound like robots coming through a unkinked garden hose. So I'm thinking that's probably my problem if neither of you is hearing it for the other one.
I'm hearing Joe do it every once in a while.
I'm hearing you guys pretty clear.
Okay.
Well, now I don't know what to do. If I disappear, then I'm restarting.
Yeah.
And I'll do that if it gets worse, but
okay.
it seems kind of manageable now.
And didn't you switch networks to fix that in the past?
Yeah, but I'm on the one that I should be on now.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Well, we'll just roll with it.
I just closed iTunes. Maybe that'll help on my...
You have iTunes, huh?
Wait, do you guys not have iTunes? How do you download your musics?
Just stream it.
What?
Stream it.
To what?
To the
Stream
phone.
it.
Directly to the phone. You got iMusic on there, and then you just...
I don't. I don't know if my phone can do that.
No, it can't, because it's not an iPhone. There's a lot of stuff that you...
I actually do. I do a kind of embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
I think this is like a boomer thing to do. On my phone, most of the music that I play through my phone, I play from YouTube.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's how I do it.
You're slamming through some data because the video's pulling through too. But I would assume you have unlimited.
If he's always on Wi-Fi, he should be fine.
Yeah,
I've got most of my regular rotation playlist is just on an SD card, and then I also don't listen to much new stuff, so that's never really an issue.
Yeah.
But podcasts, I'll just download and then manually drag and drop to the SD card, and then listen from there.
You're out of control.
So that's probably not a boomer thing, but it's probably not where I should be.
No. You're getting there though. You're using modern consoles now. I think you're only a generation behind. You're on our generation now, at least. So you're getting there.
All right.
Anyways, Kevin, are you bringing your video back up or no?
Maybe in a minute.
Okay.
Found some processes to kill, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
See if it helps.
Kill some processes. What else is going on, Joe? We're stoked for this concert, man. I mean, this is like one of those bands.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, for me, it's them and Presidents of the United States of America are like kind of some of the early bands that, you know, we got a hold of. Thank you, Columbia Records, for sending us free music to our house that we never had to pay for. Did you ever run that scam, the BGM scam or the Columbia House? Get your CD collection started.
Was this the 1 cent? You get 20 CDs or something?
Yeah, but it was back in the day, so we get a little brown box and there'd be like 10 cassettes in there, and I got like the Last Action Hero soundtrack and Tragic Kingdom, and I had some good tapes. And Green Jello was one of the first.
So for me, it's like at this point to go see live music, there's got to be like the right crossover of price point and band I like.
Yes.
So I did not grow up with Green Jello outside of the Maximum Carnage soundtrack, and then a couple of songs here and there. But the tickets were $15 for general admission. We've upgraded to having a table where they will bring us pizza logs.
Yes.
Should we ask for them? So the combination
we will ask for them.
Oh, yes. The combination of the delicious pizza logs, and for those of you who have never been to this venue, the King of Clubs, it's basically if you take an egg roll and fill it with pizza stuffing, that's where you are. And then you get 4 or 5 of them in one setting.
Yeah.
It's
a calzone and an egg roll had a baby, and this is little baby pizza roll. It's pretty good.
Plus, with the table, we have got access to general admission. We can go down, but the reg folk can't come up to our table.
VIP.
We've got the special. Yeah, exactly.
Green Jello VIP.
Moderately IP. I don't know if we're very, but
we're important.
We're $10 more important than the GAs.
Nice. And we got Harry Boy coming with us, and I believe your wife is coming too.
Yep.
That's great. So, tell them who's opening for Green Jello, Joe.
Oh yeah. So we don't know who is opening and who's closing, but formerly known as Crazy Town, now Crazy Town X will be part of this mix for the same price point.
You're my butterfly, sugar, baby. In case you forgot the hit Crazy Town one-hit wonder song that they had in the early 2000s. Yeah.
I remember I actually downloaded this whole album on Napster or whatever, and there were like a couple songs that I liked off of it at the time, so I don't remember what they are outside of Crazy Town or outside of Butterfly, but we'll hear them and we'll find out if it still holds up.
Yeah.
That lead singer was on one of them celebrity rehab shows too.
Oh, that makes sense.
I remember watching a season of that for some reason.
Okay. That makes sense.
Maybe that's why they had to add the X to their name.
So
maybe he left, or maybe
Straight Edge.
Yeah, maybe Straight Edge or something. It's like, hey, we're Crazy Town. Also, don't offer me a beer.
Not too crazy.
Right.
Crazy within reason town.
Right.
We gotta go to bed on time town.
Yep. We wash our hands before and after we use the restroom town. What else do they do? We stop at the line at 4-way stop signs, Crazy Town. No rolling reds over here. You won't find it.
Brady said go to bed on time. That's an important one.
Lots of vegetables, lots of fruit town.
Yeah. We don't drink liquid calories town.
We're drinking water town.
Exercise
H2O
twice
town.
a day town. Daily multivitamin town. This is who we're seeing.
Stay out of the YouTube comments section town.
When we go out to eat with our significant others, we split one entree because it's way too big town.
Yeah. Share the appetizers. They must be shared. I love it.
feel like you actually do get more fries that way, though, if you split the entree, because, they'll cut the entree in half, but they're willing to give you all the fries you want.
This is true.
Generally speaking.
That's a good point. They know, and they want you to have the fries. The fries don't cost them nothing.
Hey, I had that Wario's place downtown for the first time today. That was pretty yum.
Oh, that was your first?
First time I ever had it, yeah. Real yum.
What'd you get?
Tell us about it, yeah.
Yeah, so we took a bike ride, me, Pedro, and young Omler, and we ended up doing, I think, 25 or something like that, but we went down from my place, and that was like our halfway point turnaround. And what did I get? It was just the Philly cheesesteak. And we also ordered this little side of like these kind of potatoes. Yeah. Yep. And this aioli, garlic aioli sauce that it came with. And the cheese is probably the cheese and the bread stuck out to me most on that sandwich. Like ooey gooey, not absolutely something Crazy Town would never consume while on tour in the back of a tour bus. Really,
maybe back in the old days.
Yeah, maybe before they were Crazy Town X, yes. But no, really yummy. Would recommend, and I think if you pair it with a bike ride, then you won't feel so bad about shoving 900 calories into your face.
It's
what's the return trip like on that bike ride after the 900 calories?
Yeah.
Is it
a little slow going?
No,
a little slow going at the start. You just kind of gotta give your body time, and then the body and the legs and the stomach figure out what's going on. Because my body was telling me like, hey, where do you want to lay down and digest and have a little nap? But you hop back on a bike, that first mile or two is kind of like, I don't know. I've given myself cramps before riding too quick after eating something. I've done that before, like once or twice, and that didn't happen today. So pretty good shit all around. Definitely want to go back.
You've given yourself menstrual cramps because you're a little bitch.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. I did not think we were doing that kind of stuff on this podcast. No, you never had cramps after eating, Kevin, and riding a bike?
I don't think so, but okay. You've been on a bike more than I have. Maybe it's coming, I just haven't got there yet. I think
it was just like, I remember what it was. I did a ride after one of my kids' like birthday parties. So I had like 8 slices of pizza and a piece of cake and like a bunch of chips and like a couple 3 beers. Like it was a full load. And I'm like, let's go ride 15 miles. And yeah, so I was asking for it. I mean, I really pushed it, but usually I'm pretty empty in the tummy department when I take a bike ride. But
I have a completely unrelated children's pizza story to this, and it's not even a story.
Yeah,
it's. I was going through my local Kroger today looking for a pie, and Chuck E. Cheese now on the frozen section for some reason.
Okay,
like, are you ever thinking what kind of pizza do I want? That one that kind of smells like urine and later disappointment. This was not a good pizza, right? Am I?
I haven't. It's been a while, but I don't remember it being. It's like minimum the legal requirements for something to be considered pizza. You know what I mean?
Yes, as I remember it, and what it looked like in the box, it was a thin crust with like just cheese and pepperoni. Nothing fancy on these toppings. That kids aren't eating green peppers and olives or anything like that.
No.
I got to tell you, I've had Chuck E. Cheese once in my life. I think we went there ironically before like one of the formal high school dances.
Oh,
and but I am curious enough that I might buy it if it were one of the choices for a frozen pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, the price point was strange too. It was I would imagine this has to do with paying for the license, but it was $6.99, which is not the most expensive, but also not the cheapest.
Little Caesar prices.
Right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Is Red Baron, is that $4.99 or another $6.99?
Red Baron's a little cheaper than that.
Red Baron's usually my frozen pizza of choice.
I like a DiGiorno's. I like that thick crust.
I've had a couple issues with the Baron and you guys were here for one of them, where I cooked it and it fell through my oven and landed on the...
Yeah, you didn't cook it long enough. Didn't cook
I don't know if you can blame that on the pizza.
Yeah.
There were a lot of other factors at play.
That's not a time factor, though. No matter what amount of time I put it in for, it would have fallen through the oven.
But it didn't like slither through all on its own. I remember you wrestling with the pizza, and on your way trying to bring it out of the oven, somehow you jammed it through the grate. Isn't that how it went?
Yeah, I think you're right.
No. That was different. That was totally on me.
We have video
This was
evidence
one that,
of this, so we can study it. I mean, I filmed you doing the entire thing, so.
No, this is a different time where it was literally like oozing through the grates by the time we got to it.
Yeah. No, I think you failed. I think it was your fault.
Okay. Well, maybe I did. Who knows?
This is how we get better.
I never know for sure.
This is true.
So
well, I have
you're
the video though, so we can see it. We can know for sure.
That's not the right video. You didn't take videos of me cooking every pizza.
Yeah, we did. You didn't know it.
We have a nest hidden in your kitchen right now. We all gather around it and
This
watch.
is a private residence, sir. I'm going to need you to turn over all the videos that you have and contact my lawyer.
And we already sold them to Amazon, so
Yeah.
Damn it.
damage is done.
I'm going to be canceled.
Yeah.
If there was a real problem of it was the toppings and cheese then that oozed, that's what happened?
No.
Just how
everything
he got it
everything
out.
oozed.
What do you mean
No, it wouldn't be-
everything though?
I mean, so they give you the option on these pizzas. If you want to have it crispy, don't put the cardboard thing on. If you want to have it like soft dick style, just leave the cardboard on underneath it. It's
Soft
fine.
dick style.
That's what they say on the packaging.
Okay.
So I like it crispy. So I put it right onto the grates, and then the middle of the pizza is oozing down. The whole thing, the whole dough and everything is like dripping all the way down to the bottom of the oven.
You're an animal. You're a wild animal.
I didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: when you do direct to the grate, it's still wise to put a pan or something below in case there's drippings.
I used
Not that I believe.
the whole
I don't
pizza
believe for a
dripping,
second
not
that the middle of the pizza just turned liquid,
Yeah.
fell through the grates.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't turn liquid, but it turned not solid enough to maintain its course on the grates.
How hard are your grates?
The regulation grates.
Bearing up against the pizza crust.
I don't know. I looked into it. It turns out this might happen if, for some reason, the pizza was not quite frozen enough to begin with. So, like, the middle gets hotter and drippier before the rest of it cooks. So,
Maybe. I'll give you a maybe on that. I think you were drunk, and I think you were trying to get a not all the way done pizza out of an oven using a spatula and like an unprotected hand. I think that's what happened.
Not going to say that's never happened to me before, but what I'm telling you now was a fault in the specific Red. Now, not all the Red Baron pizzas I've had in my life have done this, but there have been a couple, enough to where I kind of raise an eyebrow to the Red Baron, unless it's the one that comes in the pan. I do like the deep dish Red Baron. Number one, because it tastes a little bit more like the Jets style, but number two, it's got a guaranteed pan in there that's not going to happen to me.
That's why you're paying, you pay a little more for a Chuck E. Cheese pizza because it's got that guarantee that the middle's not going to ooze through your grates.
It will stay up high. Yeah.
Really
smell
weird.
like urine, and after I take it out, probably a couple tickets pop out as well.
The front of the box is all just Chuck E. Cheese and then a little word bubble explaining all of this.
Hey kids, make sure you have your parents help you. Is that even, what does Chuck E. Cheese even sound like? Does he even have a high-pitched voice that I just did?
I think he sounds like
no,
that. Kind of like a Mickey
probably
Mouse.
figure that he would sound like the animatronics or something, right?
I don't remember what those sound like.
Welcome, children. Welcome. Would you like to play a game? I'm a mouse. I don't know what Chuck E. Cheese sounds like. No, wait, they have ads with Chuck E. Cheese. He's like a cool mouse, remember? Hey, kids, come on down. He's like a cool mouse.
That doesn't sound right either.
Well, I'm sure there's, I don't know, we got to find like a Chuck E. Cheese ad and get a voice clip. We'll put Carl.
I got into a YouTube hole actually not too long ago where I like to watch training videos, so I know I can clean the Chuck E. Cheese costume pretty easily. You want to spray it down inside and out with some stuff. Some part of it's are dry clean friendly, and then some parts are not. You also want to make sure you're wearing loose-fitting clothing.
Okay.
It's hot in those costumes. And make sure that everyone is having a good time, always.
Okay. Serious note, like, they would have a real guy as Chuck E. Cheese every once in a while at these restaurants, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the costume that I can tell you how to clean.
Yeah, and those costumes are hot. Probably wasn't uncommon for somebody to just be, like, naked in there. But naked Chuck E. Cheese running around, I mean, that's like the center of every pedophile joke is Chuck E. Cheese. But they're down just below the surface of the Chuck E. Cheese suit.
You got Roboti there a little bit in the middle of that, but
you said bare dangles.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought he said. Couldn't be sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
anytime there's people in furry suits, they could just have their bare dangles.
Oh God, naked balls,
and it's always around kids.
Oh jeez, I don't think I like that one bit.
What if maybe there's a way to figure out how to change that stereotype to where somebody in a that's not true. College mascot, they're around college age students. There's professional sport mascots too, who are around grown-ass men, so they're out there doing their thing.
Yeah, pros is fine. I mean, college is tough because some of those girls are still 17, you know?
True.
Only the really smart ones. And they should know how to make good decisions by then, if they're that smart.
Maybe.
You saying that if they're smart, they won't get raped?
No, I'm saying if they're smart, they should avoid the mouse dangle with his dick hanging out, or whatever you're implying there.
Yeah, never approach a mouse with its dick out of an adult-sized mascot mouse, no. Everybody knows that.
It's like a reverse glory hole, essentially, just in a mouse costume.
Oh my God. All you know is the ethnicity of the penis shower. That's all you know, and the gender, I guess. That's a given.
Even if they have like some kind of condition where if you don't see the ethnicity in the skin color, you can see it in the size, right? Because all ethnicities have exactly one size of penis.
Yeah, that's that's right.
Like Asians are all small.
Right. Whites are medium.
Black guys are all big. Yeah, whites are all medium.
You got it. It's science, you know. They do, I think that's what they determined in the last census. So, yeah.
It's weird that people answer those questions so honestly.
Well, and it was super weird for me because we just didn't send ours in, and that means a guy comes to your house. Had to show him my dick in the front yard. It was weird.
So, blasted him hard?
No, he wasn't one of those guys. It was just show it real quick and then we're good. And he filled up. He thanked me. He was real nice about it. But still,
no. Well, I don't know if that was a real census guy because if they're only going to see it in one state, it should be hard.
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I reached in there and I kind of juggled around a little bit, thought of some things, so it wasn't completely lifeless.
You have to let them know too. You know, if you're a shower or a grower, and they check one box, and then one way you show one way, and then one way you show it the other way.
Yeah, that's right. He was very polite. He did his job, so I appreciate him. But it was weird. It was the first time in a long time that I got it out just to get it out and then put it back. Typically, if he's coming out, things are about to go my way, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, urinating.
Consensually with my wife. Oh, yeah, I guess I do take it out to pee.
Or to shave. Trim. I mean, not shave clean. Yeah.
It's my wife in the background of my podcast. What's up?
Yeah, you don't take your dick out of your pants when you trim it?
Do you take your dick out of your pants when you trim it? She just said she doesn't have one.
Yeah. I always...
She needs her inhaler because she's a dork.
Mm.
What are you going to do? Go back and go read some more comic books, you nerd? Go play World of Warcraft with your friends?
You should just see if she can get her inhaler medicine like into her vape, and that would save everyone a lot of time.
Yeah. She never loses that thing. I don't know.
I think
guys.
I'm onto something here.
I think you might, yeah. Except for...
It's a moneymaker.
Except for one of them, yeah, I think one can... It would be like a zero net situation. Like one would be hurting your lungs, the other one would be helping them. You'd end up in the middle somewhere.
Well, I think they go to different parts of the lungs. It's like they're carpooling. One goes to the satisfactory part of the lungs, and one goes to the health part of the lungs.
Okay.
Plus, you still get to click your button and hold the thing to your mouth. And that's really the whole value statement of vaping. So
I don't know. That nicotine is pretty powerful stuff. How's not drinking going, Kevin?
It's good.
Of ingesting things that we know are not good for us.
Yeah. It's fine. I've been kind of like busy with schoolwork or whatever. Like school got hard all of a sudden this semester. And so it's been kind of easy not to think about it. What I do instead, because I do like having that kind of decompress, half hour or whatever, before I go to bed. I've just been drinking milk and eating like ridiculous amounts of sweets before I go to bed. Yeah, it's my new move.
Yeah, I can relate there.
Cookies, candy bars, anything.
Mine's not the sweets so much as it is the salty. Like I went to the gas station the other day, and it was stupid what I bought. I spent like $20 on like chips and pretzels and cashews, and it was, nothing else was open, and I was like, I don't know what kind of snack I want, but I know I'm going to want a snack, so I'm going to get all the snacks. Yeah.
But you can, you've
not done that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that just, you got it from the gas station.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to go to Kroger's, you know what I mean? It seemed like a dumb reason to go to a whole grocery store for.
I don't want to put this on my membership card. Oh, the shame.
And I think Fuel Nibblers is like starting to, their delivery pipeline is all fucked up now because of COVID, so I haven't got any like Sun Chips or any of that shit in a while, so a little upset. But
you can kind of get away with eating whatever you want if you aren't drinking and you're exercising.
Yeah, that's I'm not worried about it for sure, and I haven't put on any weight, you know what I mean, or like I've maintained my weight since the beginning. Like you said, I had a late start. I actually rode that whole weekend out, Kevin. So it was Monday the 4th that I started stopping.
That's better than a lot of people will do. So,
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm doing...
Try.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it into November? Are you going to make it for 3 days on the end?
I'm not, no. Okay. I'm going to start drinking when I see Joe the 31st for that Green Jello concert. So I'm doing my version of it. And who was I talking to? I think we were talking...
Sober when it's convenient.
You got it. Yeah.
Doesn't rhyme?
Nope. I was talking to another buddy of mine, and they're like, no, I already ruined it and all this. I'm like, no, just jump back in now. Like any amount of days in a row that you take a break, your body's going to be grateful.
I'm confused though. Why did so many people ruin it? Like everybody knew what day it was. You just don't drink when it's October.
Yeah, but like you can't have fun if you're not drinking. You know that, like how that works. Like, and so
there are other substances. I'm not saying that you try to have fun sober.
Right. Thank you.
Find something else for 31 days. That's all.
Right. I found other things, so I'm good. But it was that night me and Kevin went and saw Dave Attell with our with my wife and his fiance, and just had a gay old night. And it was the first time in probably a month and a half that we were without children. They stayed at my mom's. I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely drinking tonight, and I'm never going to look back. I think it was the right move.
Well, I was jealous that I couldn't drink that night, but yeah, I think it was fine. I think I laughed, as hard as I would have otherwise.
Oh, sure.
I kind of had a little bit of a headache. I think I might have smoked too much of a CBD joint.
Okay.
And every time I laughed real hard, I was trying to manage. If I laughed very hard, I would cough, and it would make my head throb.
Give yourself a CTE from laughter. It was. I mean, we were really. It hurt, like bellies, faces, walking out of that comedy club, because the opener was amazing. Do you know the guy's name, Kevin, off the top of your head, or
something like Finance,
yeah,
or whatever? He was on an HBO show. He was a smaller guy, kind of classic Jewy looking dude.
Super high energy, in your face. I don't think anybody was ready for it, but he put the crowd right where we needed to be, because the MC or whoever was working for the club was all right. I mean, we got some giggles, but it wasn't anything close to where we were going with this show. And so when this guy got up there, it was just like, boom, hey, we are doing a comedy show now, and he just let it rip. And then Attell came on, and he's goddamn master. You know what I mean? He's one of the good ones for sure. I was listening to, I think it was Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, and Tom Segura worked some sort of like event put on by Pete Davidson, and like Chappelle was there, and Bill Burr was there, and like all these top comics and all that. And Segura said he got to share a green room with Dave Attell, and he was talking about some of the stuff that was cracking him up. And one of the things he mentioned was that he would pull out like a kid's recorder and do jokes with the recorder randomly. And so we saw that at the show that we saw. He integrated a plastic recorder into some of his bits. Choice comedy, Joe, man. And
we were like right up on the stage too.
Oh yeah,
it was kind of a. I thought we might be, because when they announced the show, I just happened to see that tickets were about to go on sale, right before they were or whatever. And so I was online pretty early in the process, and that's how they assigned tables or whatever. So I didn't want to get our hopes up, or or maybe our nerves up.
Yeah.
But I thought there was a good chance we were going to be right there on the stage. And then they said table 94, and I was like, fuck, that's not going to be there. And lo and behold, our table was bordering the stage. I mean, we were there.
And it was,
so there was,
I didn't like that initially. We got there, and I was like, I was just the level of high where I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I look like this, and we're in the front row. We are so going to be comedy fodder, and they're going to, you know what I mean? I just was freaking out a little bit. And then luckily, the two tables next to us, they caught like 90% of the heat. It was great. I thought for sure, like, oh man, they're just going to rip on us all night. But I mean, and it was kind of cool being a part of the show like that. I know Jordan, when he went to the Dave Chappelle like summer camp thing, he said they were insanely close, and kind of the same thing. Like, oh man, I didn't know. I mean, I came to see a comedy show. I didn't know I was going to be like a part of it. You know what I mean? But
it felt it felt kind of nice to be able to laugh. To be a table that was that close and laughing.
Yeah.
I feel like even at a comedy show, there's a lot of people who are still like kind of square and don't kind of pop.
Introvert, kind of like, let's just play it safe and no one look at me and I won't look at you kind of folks.
But even besides that, just not knowing when things are funny enough to like really laugh at them.
Yeah.
And
have a lame sense of humor. Yeah.
I feel like we know what's funny, and that we were able to bring that positive feedback to the comedians.
Yeah, there was one point where
super quick.
the opener guy, like, because he was a little kind of nervous-y, but not like really. Like, he definitely knew what he was doing, but then there was like 10% of like, I want to do well. I hope this crowd's digging it. Like any comic goes through. I mean, they're all crazy what they do, but I remember he looked over at you and was just like, man, I fucking like you, man. Thanks for coming tonight. Like, cause you were losing it and we were losing it at a lot of, I don't know, like, I love seeing someone that's good at comedy, because what's Norm's quote? Like, or maybe it's Dangerfield, but it's like comedy is a surprise, right? Like it's just a series of surprises where we're comedy fans. We've seen a lot of different comedy and different styles, and it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like when a movie respects its audience, and it doesn't do a flashback to remind you that something happened in the first scene that you already remember it happening, and so like, I feel like, sometimes the build up to a joke, there's just like eight little mini jokes kind of sprinkled into that whole thing. And then there's the payoff. And then there's like maybe other tags or stuff that they're currently working on or experimenting with that sometimes land, sometimes don't. And it's such a weird art form. And we lost Norm recently. Speaking of comedy, that was a bummer. And that was a show that, like, I think, well, shit, first time we saw him at Funny Bone, or first time I saw him with you, Kevin, I felt like 80% of the crowd in there was, like, not...
Yep.
They won the tickets through a radio station, and they just didn't know what they were seeing, or they were confused about what they were seeing, like, I thought this was supposed to be funny,
Norm is a bad act to walk into with your girlfriend not knowing who the comedian is. Doesn't, or he wouldn't be if people were cool, but they're not enough of them. And, so definitely I was telling the story, obviously after he died, about that night, and that at a certain point, because I think it was more than 80% of the room, what I remember was, this was back when the Funny Bone was kind of a smaller venue.
Yeah.
And we were sort of tucked away, like, in a corner, kind of.
We had a booth.
At this booth. And my memory of it is that we were, like, one of the only tables that really got it.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point, we're dying over here in the corner. He's bombing to the rest of the room. And it became this thing where he would, like, project the jokes out to them and then kind of, like, give us the side eye or, like, knowing glances or whatever. Where it was like this, the show became this running joke about how no one else got it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. And like the kind of thing that made you feel kind of close to a comedian or whatever. That got super sad. Like I was emotional for a day or so after that news. It was fucked up. Like I think that's
secret cancer, man. Can you believe it? That's so him too.
Yeah, it is.
He's like, I want to be known for my comedy. I'm not interested in everybody giving me,
It's like a reverse Andy Kaufman or something. Like it's somehow it casts the last like 9 years of his career in kind of a weird light, and like made me think about jokes he's done where. There's one about his great uncle dying of cancer that I don't know if that really happened or maybe that's just his joke about himself or whatever.
Yeah.
I think when we saw him at the casino, he talked about going to a doctor and something about like the joke was basically that there's no good news a doctor can ever tell you. It's always just kind of like taunting you with the possibility of like devastating news.
Yeah.
And I mean that's him. That's him a year and a half ago. That's him 8 years into having cancer and knowing that was probably gonna be the end of him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it really changes how you look at him, especially over, like you said, over the last 10 years. And that's when we saw him. You know what I mean? So,
and there was a. Bob Saget, I think, did like a tribute, Radio Cat, whatever, where he was talking about, because when I when I heard all the cancer stuff, I remembered when he was doing his Netflix show, and he had that period where he just kind of like gained 50 pounds, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
In the course of like 6 months or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird to marry that up with he was very sick with cancer. And Bob Saget was talking about how he used to, like, it was it was like to throw people off the scent or something like that. Like it was his plan was he would eat like an entire fried chicken like in front of a bunch of like famous people, like at parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was his attempt at not having anyone find out he was sick, or like some weird thing.
That's something he actually made light of, and it falls into place now. But even before the Netflix show, just when he had the YouTube podcast,
the Jazz produced show, yeah.
Yeah, there were just jokes with, like, he picked up a bucket of chicken and starts eating it in front of Adam Egget, and jokes about his wild weight gain, and then he dropped some pounds before the Netflix show picked up. But
that's I was thinking of the YouTube show. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And Kev, do you remember when we would watch that YouTube show with him and Egget? And anytime, like, I'd get home from work and you guys would have it on, like, I think it happened like a dozen times, but I would walk in and be like, whoa, Norm kind of looks like shit. Like, do they not have makeup and lighting for this show? I mean, it was sort of a low production show, or like a YouTube kind of cheaper operation, but don't you remember that? Like, he just looked gray and kind of dead a little and gaunt,
I mean, he kind of looked like when he got fat, he looked like a guy wearing a fat suit. He just had that, like, it was like maybe they had makeup, but it was really cheap makeup or something, kind of like his face had a sort of weird, plasticed out kind of sheen to it.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
All that stuff, is weird to kind of put through the frame of him dying or at least tending towards death with cancer the whole time.
Yeah.
The other thing, like, this was really weird. So the day that he died, I think, was the same day everyone found out. So we had some new people join our team at work, and so we did like a get to know everyone. It's a kind of small team. So my boss asked each of us to like put together like PowerPoint slides, basically.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Like, what kind of shit do you like? And so, like, one of my little things on my collage was I had Norm Macdonald, and I said, like, this is kind of like one of my spirit animals, or just somebody that I really admire, that's kind of like shaped, whatever, who I would like to be. So we had that lunch at like noon or whatever, closed up at 1:30, and then I got a text from my brother-in-law like 15 minutes after that. It was like super trippy. I was like, what, what the hell? But yeah, he was like my one celebrity, I think, that affected me more than any other like famous person if they had died.
Yeah, for sure. No, I thought about you the day I heard it, and I was like, oh man, this is like Kevin's favorite. I mean, definitely really high on my list too, but like, I don't think I had the same connection. Maybe you did, but how many times were you able to see him before he...
I think I saw him 3 times. We saw him once at the Funny Bone. Yeah. I saw him once in Michigan, and then I saw him twice when he was at the casino.
That's right. You guys did the early and the late show. Yeah.
Yep. And I got to help him with one of his jokes in the late show, so that was another moment of feeling kind of close.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, he was sort of like personality-wise, I think. Fair to say, more sort of comes from my cut out of the same cloth as me, more so than you. He was a really sort of powerful figure, just in terms of like, you can be sort of a quiet person, or even a fearful person, and people will still think you're cool if you're if you're as good as normal.
Yeah.
So, and he also like he was pretty nihilistic, I would say, even more so than most comedians, I think. But he did it in a way that it was like super gentle or something. Like didn't communicate any cynicism.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like
approachable nihilism.
Yeah, but so it's something I don't know. I mean, I'm not Norm, so that sucks. But
yeah, you'll get there. No, you'll get there, man. Stop it.
It was like, but I mean, that's how I always like wanted people to read
your brand of humor, or whenever you made a joke, or
and my brand of like nihilism. Like I don't. The way that I mean it is the way that he was able to make it seem. Yeah. And I don't know. I think when I do it, it has shades of like being cynical or unfriendly or something.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, but yeah, he was, and on a like more practical or transactional level, like I'm pissed off that we can't see him anymore.
That's the reality of it. Yep.
Yeah, like it's no more specials, no more live. Like I wasn't done.
No, yeah, I wanted more for sure. I think that's kind of part of death, or one of the things that maybe you don't think about, like especially if it's a friend. Like when we lost our buddy Dusty, I was like, it hit me later, like way later, and I was like, I would have hung out with him more. Like I would have, like we still would have done shit, and can't do that. That's not in the books anymore. I don't know, Joe, you dealt with some loss and stuff recently, but like, I don't know, it might be different because, it's a grandfather or, someone older. It's like, well, how much were you really hanging out with that person anyway? I don't know.
Yeah, my grandfather's Netflix specials didn't do very well.
What was the title of his first one? I forget. It was just like Raisin Jim Gaz. Was the
Dating Around.
His
life in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh man. Joe, what was the last comedy show that you saw? Not live or whatever, but have you seen any comedy recently on the flicks? Did you watch that Shane Gillis special on YouTube? I really liked that one.
No, I don't know who that is. I watched the new Chappelle.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, tell me.
It was more the same with the other two. It was called The Closure or The Closing, but yeah.
Watched. Sorry, go ahead.
The rehashing of the other two things that I saw.
Okay.
So if you like those, he draws from them, but no new ground is broken.
Okay.
So
we watched that last night, and I've also got lukewarm at best things to say about it.
Did you get real deep on it?
Kind of, and that so it it definitely seems like it's more of the posture of like I'm a voice of the current times or whatever. I've decided that that's what I'm going to do, what's most important or whatever, and so it felt mostly like serious with sort of contrived feeling punctuation marks of like shock humor.
Gotcha.
And I think the rehashing seems a little bit more asinine, like in that lens versus just one where you're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Like it's profound thoughts or whatever, but ones that we've already heard.
I gotcha.
I'm probably making it sound. I'm sounding harsher on it than I should be.
Still watch it is what you're saying.
Still watch it, but like I took my melatonin and my Benadryl or whatever, and let's just say it started kicking in a little bit earlier than usual.
It's fair. Getting a little sleepy. Speaking of Netflix, have you seen this show that you just can't get away from on the internet? It's literally everywhere you look. The Squid Game. Have you guys started Squid Game yet?
Negative.
Korean show, Joe? Squid Game?
No. Okay. With it being subtitled, that's one that I've always got to Okay, cognizantly.
They have
Okay.
They have
Can't be on my phone right now.
Yeah, they have an English dub for it. But I watched the first episode with the dub, and I had to switch because it was like there's some lines that are like clearly
That's more
isn't.
distracting.
Yeah, sometimes the performers or the people translating, it's like I don't think that inflection was supposed to be there or whatever. Like it's just a weird.
Maybe if they paid like Morgan Freeman to be somebody who's a dub copy, they just get like random guys who say, "I'm part of the Squid Game. Let's play the Squid Game."
It costs money. I mean, it costs money to make an English dub of anything.
Right.
You got to get a bunch of different actors to perform it all, and then you got to do like extra mixing on the production side, you know. So you get, I don't know.
I was hanging out with a friend today who pointed out that the dubs end up sounding like really silly if there's like a sad moment or whatever. Like it's hard to have a dub voice get emotional or whatever in those sad moments.
Yeah.
Sounded like it would be true. I haven't seen it yet.
There was one scene where it's like a shop owner or something, and he's talking to the main character, and he's like, It's been so crazy around here today. It's been really crazy today. And it just comes off as like Tim and Eric the way it like, or like Kung Pao, that movie, Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I don't know. So I would recommend just the subtitles, and then it's good enough that you're not going to care that you're reading it. The premise is they take folks that are in a great amount of debt, and then they give them an opportunity to compete in these games, but they're all like little kid games you played when you're a little kid. So the first game is like red light, green light. And if you lose or refuse to play, you get killed. Yeah. And it's cool. They put them all in matching jumpsuits, and the style, like the visual style of the show is really cool. I called it MC Escher meets, like Easter, the holiday, and then meets like PlayStation, just because all the people that work for this company have different like PlayStation symbols on their mask. I don't know. It's out there, but I love it, and I'm 2 episodes in, and it's getting really good, and pretty stoked to watch more tonight. So check it out. But
are you gonna call your wife's friend the next time that Squid Game comes up on your Netflix?
Call my wife's friend Squid Game.
Yeah. When you do the Squid Game, are you gonna
call her Marie?
Call her Mary? Yeah.
Call her Mari. It's pretty good.
No, it's not. It's all right.
I was able to guess it, so you're probably right. It's not good.
I think that makes me feel better about it than if you hadn't.
Oh, that's true. Right?
It.
Yeah, because find myself explaining some jokes every once in a while.
Because I mean, you're not going to laugh at the end of it, so it's better if you can at least see my work.
Understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though there was work put in and effort was made. Yeah. I had a joke at a really super dry crowd, and it got a big pop. It was a trivia question was on the, let's see, what is it? With Diamond being a 10 and Talc being a 1 on the Mohs scale of mineral hardness, where does quartz rank? I'm currently at a 4. And it's like this crowd that they're barely like having fun at their tables. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you see a bunch of people that went out to have dinner and a drink, and they look fucking bored even before you start doing trivia or whatever, like just kind of like boring people. I don't know. And so I always try to make them. I always try to make them laugh. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just try to do jokes, because most of my other trivia shows, it's like 10% comedy. Like I make a lot of comments that gets giggles and things like that. But what were you going to say, Joe?
I was going to say, what percentage of people do you think go out to dinner just because they're bored and
well, then go fucking home and be bored with your dead eyes.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm on a different energy level than they are. You know what I mean? I try to make make a fun experience out of the night for myself just because I'm there and, you know, typically having a beer ski or two.
So when people have boring dinner, though, they are ordering drinks, right?
A lot of them aren't drinking, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're drinking Sprite and shit, and I'm like surprised that they're not fucking party animals like me and my friend Kevin.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird that, like, is that a restaurant? Is that a place that you would go if you weren't going to drink?
It's a restaurant bar. It's got a big bar, but yeah. I would say it's a restaurant first. And it's Wednesday, so, you know, this is me getting used to being around people that aren't alcoholics. All right, I'm figuring it out.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just a dry crowd. You know what I mean? Like I go and do it's not a performance, but it's like, I don't know. How boring do you want it to be? Do you want no effort from the host and I literally just read shit and then say correct or incorrect all night long? You know what I mean? Like that looks, I just think of like, where's the culture, man? Can't we all have a laugh together? Can't we have a giggle, you know?
You should do that. That would be kind of funny. Like if you like maybe dressed up as a robot a little bit or something and you just correct all night or something like that.
I couldn't do it, man.
Nah, it's stupid.
I don't have it in me too. I couldn't do it for longer than like a couple categories. I'd be like, I can't
put a bunch of B-dubs logos on yourself and
like I say,
you guys are looking for B-dubs buzzing trivia.
Like I joke to entertain myself while I'm up there. Like maybe I can make myself laugh with a commentary on, you know, whatever question just came up. You know, I'll think about it. If I got nothing, I shut up. If I got something, I'm like, it reminds me of that time with my ex-wife. You guys have no idea, you know, and I'll tell a fake story and then nothing out of the crowd. Anyways, moving on. 200 points, you know.
So I'm still, I don't know if I get the joke. Is it 4 because of like quartz and that almost is?
Oh,
like,
I'm at
or like your dick.
I'm at a 4 right now. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was waves of like, so there was like the initial pop of people that were paying attention, like,
did he say something?
He's got a boner, that's funny. And then it was like a wave of all the other people that were just surviving through the night, and it hit them, and like, what did he say? What did he say? It's a lot of old white repubs, man,
whispering to each other, pointing it out.
Yeah. And then
did you hear what he said?
This lame dude who's missing some fingers, he shouts out, hey John, Carol just got it. She just got it right now. She got it later. And I was like, yeah, man, we're just trying to have a good time tonight.
You had him point at his wife, but you said he was missing his fingers.
Well, not
which
that
one
finger.
Is it?
I think it's his other finger. Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of a prick.
Do you think his wife's vagina swallowed the fingers? She sounds like she's pretty tight.
Like the movie Teeth?
That movie Teeth, yeah.
Yeah.
It is October, boys. We might have to watch Teeth this month. Just saying, at our next movie party. We should do a weekly movie party. That would be... I mean, me and Joe already do, but we only watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day, so...
Now in 4K.
That's right. Joe got a new TV, everybody.
You guys watch the extended cut of Terminator 2?
Fuck yeah, watch that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. With the rescreen? Yeah.
There's some cool scenes, man.
I think there are more spots in that version though that are just like real like funny / cringy, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that I think it's only the director's cut that has the scene, the flashback with Kyle or whatever, where he's like, on your feet, soldier.
Yeah,
that's one of the good T2 moments. I actually watched that with Allison in the last like month, and she was kind of looking at. She hadn't seen it like in a long time or maybe ever, and just kind of looking at me like, "Is this for real?
Is this good?
Is this a real movie?"
I feel like that actor, Joe. What's his name? What's that actor's name?
Michael Biehn.
Yeah, I feel like Biehn showed up on the set one day, and they were like, "Fuck, man, write something up. Somebody, let's set up a light. Let's get some Biehn, just in case we need it. We don't know. We might need it. We're in the editing bay, you know."
I think the scene works because it's obviously Sarah, her dream of him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more exaggerated.
Cheesy, yeah. The scene I like is when they do the
Arnold smiling.
There's a deleted
one that I think.
There's a deleted smile scene.
Yeah, where John's talking to him. even more in depth, and then he's like, you gotta, I forget what he says, but Arnold like picks up a kid and then just gives a big ass grin.
Oh, that's in the normal cut, man, for sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought that was a deleted scene.
No.
Gotcha.
The deleted scene that I like are the ones that feed further into like the lore of the Terminator universe, right? So like there's a scene in the Steel Factory at the end where T-1000 is walking through and he's already like been shattered, so he's like sort of malfunctioning as a liquid metal, whatever, and he's like...
Yeah, T-1000 is a crazy boss. His hit point is always a mystery, but
yeah,
you can see it in that deleted scene that he has been fucked up.
Well, like on a cellular level, he's not working right, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so like he grabs a handrail and his hand sticks to it and his arm is all like bars, like it's like trying to mimic the bar that he touched for some reason. And then there's another scene where they're working on Terminator, Arnold, and they use Linda Hamilton's twin sister and they do like a false mirror and they have her on the other side of a wall and they get this cool rotating shot where you would normally see the camera in the mirror, but you don't because that's Linda Hamilton's twin on the other side, IRL twin. Pretty cool. That one I'm surprised it didn't make it.
Is the scene where they almost destroy the chip, is that's not in the original cut, where they go through like this debate?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and is like, hey, did anything go wrong?
That's
like kind of a comedic scene.
Yeah.
For a line.
Yeah, I think that's all in the deleted because John stops her from smashing it with the hammer. Yeah, I think that's all deleted.
That was probably a good one to cut just because that does kind of interrupt the flow, but at the same time, I like knowing it's there because it, I don't know, gives you a little bit more.
I think it's just one of those things where that was the first slow part of the movie after they spring Sarah Connor and maybe they're looking at it all and it's like, this is going to be a 3-hour movie. We gotta trim the fat. Otherwise,
yeah,
they probably would have left a lot of that in. A lot of it was good. I mean, it didn't seem, sometimes you watch deleted scenes, you're like, they shot this so that they could have a deleted scenes section on the DVD. This was never going to make it in, you know? But
so the smile scene was a deleted scene, just for the record.
Picking up the kid? That's separate.
It's kind of confused. The thing where he picks up the kid, I believe, is later when they're like loading up at the arsenal or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a roadside stand, and there's like a lady that John smiles at. And she's like, "Give me a break," and then he tells the Terminator to like, look at those teenage boys, and he scans their faces and like sees what a smile looks like, and he tries, but it's it looks real stupid.
Completely.
It's they say that the scene was like too long to kind of cut down and have it make any sense, and that altogether it was just too much runtime for the payoff.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think when he picks up the kid, they might have gone to Mexico at that point, so that would have been a different scene than when they stop off there.
I think we should shut down PCRN and just do a Terminator podcast. There's plenty to talk about.
P2, all day, every day.
All day, every day. And anytime I watch it with Joe, because Joe, we've probably seen it at least 4 or 5 times now together, and another 10 times apart, maybe more for you.
Yeah,
and,
whether we're actively watching it or it's just background noise to us hanging out. Yeah,
but we always have pretty good, like, in-depth conversations, either about the lore of the movie or about like the production. Like, man, how did they do that shot? And like break down stuff, like almost to the point where we're pausing and, looking at effect shots like again. Like I'll do that sometimes where I'm like, oh no, I caught an effect shot. Like, look, you can see where they, I don't know. Great movie. Terminator 2, the podcast will be
T2RN.
T2RN, yeah.
This might be common knowledge, but Dyson in that movie is also the SWAT team leader in Speed.
That's right, yeah.
Because we watched those within like a week of each other, and I was like,
That's one of those character
same
actors. He's in he's in so many movies. I bet if you went through his IMDb, you'd be pretty surprised.
I want to say he's in. No, never
Is
mind.
he in Total Recall or Running Man, or I feel like he's in something else with Arnold.
I was going to say he's in Predator 2, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
Predator 2 or Predator also?
Predator, the Digit 2.
Oh, you think he was in Predator 2?
I thought he was part of, like, Danny Glover's
Danny
team.
Glover is, like, in it. And they look kind of alike.
Yeah. Now are we all looking up right now to see what this actor's in?
Kevin's on
I'm
it.
looking it up.
Kevin's on it. Give us that IMDb.
I'll
Yeah.
Kevin, make a little mini game out of this for net points. See if we can guess some stuff.
Okay, that sounds good.
In.
Okay.
First of all, what is his actual name? I should know this.
Real name is Joe Morton.
Okay. I did not know that.
Didn't react like you should have known that.
No, I feel like it would have been, of course, that's his name, but...
All right. Do you guys just want to try to name other things he was in, or
we could, but I think we're gonna need like hints from you. Can you like?
Well, that would require me to like know something about what these movies are.
It'd be your hints without having seen the movie would also be fun for me.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, so we know he's in.
So yeah, I'll just start talking, I guess,
Sure.
what I think I know about a movie, and you guys kind of shout it out.
Sure.
Speed.
Well, we already got Speed and Terminator 2. Those are off.
This was a movie I saw when I was like a little kid. My aunt and uncle were watching it, and it's Mel Gibson.
Lethal Weapon.
And no,
Lethal Weapon 2.
I think there's a Neil Young song that plays in the closing credits of this movie.
What Women Want.
A Neil Very Young song that must play while
Forever Young.
Correct.
Same time, point of peace.
No, Joe got it. Yeah, Joe got it just before you.
I think it's the internet
latency.
Before. No way, man. I have a better connection, so... Wait, that would go the other way. Yeah, you're right. All right, fine. Joe can have it. Did you ever see Forever Young, Kevin?
Yeah, I did.
You just said
I think I was describing the reality of when I saw that movie.
Wait, so there's not a Neil Young song in the credits?
No, it's Forever Young. Isn't that a Neil Young song?
Yeah.
That definitely plays towards the end. Rod Stewart. You're right.
Okay. Well, it worked with the title, so we got there.
The clue, yeah.
We got there. All right, what else you got, Kevin?
There aren't as many...
you can do it. Just go with the box art. Nah, we'll figure it out.
Is he in the hit TV show Dollhouse? Maybe that's where I saw him recently.
No.
I don't know. Okay.
No, not credited as an actor anyway. So there's a TV series here.
Okay.
This is one that
Not Dollhouse.
My brother and sister would always watch, but I didn't think was cool when I was a little kid.
NYPD Blue.
They would just leave the TV on after The Simpsons, and
and
then this would come
in
on
living color.
And then later I went back and tried to watch it, and it's good. You know, it's good 90s TV. Featuring one hot boy and one sort of hot lady who managed to get hotter when she became older somehow.
Married with children?
No.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. It's not the OC, but it's like a teen drama.
No, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
it's a real famous one. You guys should keep trying to think of it because the truth is out there.
X-Files.
X-Files is correct. That's Joe again.
Damn it.
Yep.
He's in one episode of that, then?
Maybe he didn't have as big a career as we thought, guys. We can stop this game.
Yeah.
No, there's at least one more on here.
All right.
This was either a Steve Martin or a John Leguizamo film, or both.
Okay.
The Pest.
Roxanne.
The Pest is correct.
The Pest.
The first John Leguizamo that came to mind.
Wait, he was in The Pest, or is this part of the hint?
No, he was in The Pest. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Kent.
Interesting. I can't believe. I've seen The Pest a couple times. And then I saw that guy do stand-up. Spears? What'd you call him, Kevin?
Aries Spears.
Yeah, he was funny.
He did a radio commercial in GTA San Andreas.
Okay.
Yeah, not a whole lot else here.
Not a lot.
That I can tell.
All right, well,
I mean, he's got a lot of credits, but it's all stuff that's not super, super famous.
He's a working actor.
Yeah, he did some DC stuff in the last 5 years, but...
Oh, yeah, wasn't he the dad of Cyborg in Justice League, I think?
Silas Stone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the most... Yeah, he definitely was the dad of Cyborg.
Which he had a lot more of a much larger role in the Zack Snyder cut. A few more scenes with developing the Cyborg character. I didn't mind
I feel
that.
like I took that version of him and like extrapolated it to like a bunch of 90s movies or TV, but I think it was just that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think they need to make a standalone Cyborg movie. I would watch that.
I think they need to just make Joe Morton Mr. Scientist Man and a lot more things.
Yeah. And yeah, he should be working more. Totally.
Was American Gangster, was that a famous movie?
Oh, yeah. That was Johnny Depp and everybody, I think.
Right,
that's Public Enemy.
Russell Crowe and...
There you go.
Russell Crowe and who else?
Bob De Niro? I don't remember.
No, wait. Maybe it was it a Joaquin?
American Gangster had Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that was Wheel in the Night.
This had Denzel in it.
What?
Denzel, wasn't he in it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like Russell Crowe is also right, though.
This guy's been around for a minute. He was also on Sanford and Son. He was on MASH for an episode. And he was on the Mission Impossible TV series in 1970.
Wow. Bum, 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 ba-da-da.
Joe Morton talk, everybody. The Morton
go.
Hour. We should do one every episode for the next 7. Let's call it the Morton Minute. Let's celebrate something from the career of Joe Morton.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a lot. I want to hear these GTA ads. I just remember him holding that bomb up, as long as he could. The detonator, if he dropped it, the whole building went up. Yeah. He was breathing, doing his best. And then the bomb goes off. Fucking helicopter, that great wide shot on the outside of that building, and the helicopter's like, it's a war zone down here. It's so good. Cameron, man. What do you guys think about all these new Avatar pictures coming out? Are you going to go see these?
No, I never saw the first one.
Jimmy Cameron's not going to stop making these avatars, Kev. Do you have an opinion? Joe hadn't seen the first one yet.
Yeah, I think I liked the first one.
I liked it. It's a fun time. Way better than Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
I got horny in a weird way for the avatars.
You wanted to be an avatar, didn't you?
If it got me closer to the lady avatars, then yeah.
I kind of wanted to hook up too, watching that movie. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be rad. I don't want to lose my legs or whatever. And what happened? His twin brother died, and they already had his DNA linked to that very expensive avatar equipment. I think that's why they had to use him. He was kind of a loser.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't want all that. I don't want all that. But I do want to link up and play Avatar and hang out with the Na'vi.
Yeah, I think they did tricks. They did subliminal tricks or something to make them I don't know, make us fall in love with these cartoons.
It's coincidental or maybe not that's kind of right around the same time the furry movement started.
Huh.
Let's dress up as a big blue cat and cut a hole in the crotch of my costume so we can fuck through it. The reverse glory hole, as Joe calls it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go see these Avatar pictures. I'm not scared. Saw another movie that I did not like and that I would say avoid that got really good reviews on the interwebs. Kevin, you got your internet out. It's got Oscar Isaac and Tiffany Haddish in it.
Oh yeah, I saw this movie.
The card counter, right?
Yeah.
That movie sucked, man.
Oh no, you're just wrong.
I thought of you while we were watching it, and as he was explaining poker and doing some card counting or whatever, I was like, I think I just heard Kevin's erection across town. I knew you'd get into it because of that heady poker game shit, but like
kind of, sort of. I mean, that's a very small slice of what happens in that movie. But they were all their depictions of card games and general goings on in a casino were pretty, as accurate as you can expect any movie to be. His little statement.
Where were you between talc and diamond?
When it came on the Mohs hardness scale.
Yeah, no, I wasn't hard. I was, I was in a leather recliner and having some edibles kick in and getting notifications on my smartwatch that my heart rate was elevated even though I was sitting still.
Listen, man, the only thing that kept that movie going, or the only reason I didn't bail on that movie is probably Oscar Isaac's eyes. He's got some dreamy
He is a very very handsome man.
Yeah.
Easy to look at for 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the expectation for that movie should, you'll like it as much as you liked Taxi Driver. And I liked it a whole hell of a lot. So, so that was kind of, it's not a fun movie. It's not like a happy, 2 hours you're going to spend. No. But if you enjoyed Taxi Driver, it's the guy who wrote the screenplay for that is the writer director on this one. Yeah, and just you know what, I didn't like the flashbacks through like the stereoscopic, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of like distracting or unnerving in a way that I didn't appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I just thought it was like it's. So the Taxi Driver model, in my mind, is it's like the entire thing has to kind of take place through like inside the head of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
There should be like some basic like sort of man at a table, writing in his diary type tone to it, and there's like a tragic event or whatever that starts building really early on, and you can see exactly where it's going, and then it just goes there. But it's as satisfying as if it had been a surprise somehow. Like the slow burn of it, like you're not mad that you were able to see it. You kind of feel like you got to go on the whole ride or something. And I don't know. And I feel like in this movie, like there's a lot of fun discussion you can have afterwards about like what kinds of outcomes he was hoping for when he, sends that kid on his way.
Yeah.
So
we can spoil it. It's all right.
Joe, are you going to see this movie?
Maybe.
So
I've seen it pop up, so maybe I can listen away for.
I like that we have different opinions about it. I thought it was horrible.
You should listen.
I was going to see it because Oscar Isaac was in it.
That's what got me in. Well, actually, Maggie had it on, and I was like, "What's this?" And then I sat down, and so I might have missed the first couple minutes, but I jumped in early.
Is your overall criticism just that it was boring, or
yeah, nothing happens in it. There are literally like runtime padding scenes of what's his face Parzival from Ready Player One. He'll like take a drink of his beverage. Put it down, and then like a full 30 seconds, 40 seconds goes by. Then another character enters. No music's playing, no voiceover, and it's just, and then they begin like dialogue that is, "Hey, how'd you sleep? Not that good." And then they cut to the next scene. I'm sitting there the whole time like, what are we watching? This is torture. And then Taxi Driver, it was way more like, if you're making that comparison, the tension was there for me in Taxi Driver. I didn't care about any of these characters in this movie. And then the whole torture subplot of like where they came from and why they kind of relate, and then the flashbacks, and then it also being a poker movie. It felt like these were like 2.5 movies that someone didn't make, and they swept it all together on the floor, and they said, "Here we go. We got all the parts of a movie if you want to make it," and cast Oscar Isaac. I didn't know that the Taxi Driver guy wrote it or produced it or whatever, like before going into it. But yeah, hard pass is my recommend.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of fair. Specifically, the I thought like the Iraq War stuff felt a little bit like he was just sort of like cycling through. All right, what's happened? What's happened in the last 20 years that I need to use as inspiration? Because the Taxi Driver, he had just come out of Vietnam or whatever. It did feel a little bit like just how can I take that same idea and modernize it a little bit?
Okay.
So I agree. I think that it was a little bit of a like contrived effort or whatever to put some kind of like darkness in his past or whatever.
Right.
Would have been a better movie if he had just been I don't know, if he and the kid both had a bond to this guy through just like some random I don't know, he killed someone we both knew or raped my mom or something like that. That would have played better for me, I think, than the war. Yeah. But so Joe, I'll spoil it for you and for everyone, I guess. It's
just real quick before you get into the spoiler, Tiffany Haddish, love her in everything I've seen her in. She was dog shit in this movie. Like, not her role, in my opinion. Like, just the way she delivered lines, the way that there was this like really pitiful sex scene that they had, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I just couldn't get into it, man.
Pitiful.
Yeah, it was just her face is in there, and she's playing this dramatic role. It's like the first time I've ever seen her like try to do acting, right? Like every movie I've ever seen her in, she's like a funny friend, or like she's that teacher in that Kevin Hart movie who only delivers, or stuff that Kevin Hart can be funny off of. This is like a dark movie, and she's like, it's funny Tiffany Haddish. I could not buy into her performance at all.
I mean, ladies are funny in real life. Well, that's not true. I was going to say sometimes, but you didn't think that was kind of steamy though? Like, I was probably more attracted to his side of it than her, but I thought the sex scene was fine.
At this point of the movie, I didn't care what happened to him or if he won or lost. And then it's just like, okay, cool. Now you're kissing the like tournament manager lady or whatever. Cool. Okay. Oh wow. Now you're banging and you guys are having sex and she has her bra on for some reason. It's just, couldn't get into it.
Well, yeah. I mean, her bra was going to come off later.
Sure.
I think you have to figure that. So yeah, the deal is, he's like an ex-soldier or whatever. He was at Abu Dhabi, and Willem Dafoe is this like real mean sort of unit leader, whatever they would call him, that kind of like enforced, like made them do a bunch of torture stuff. Like he was kind of the ringleader of the torturing. And so Oscar Isaac,
and that's like part of like basing it into like the Iraq War and when that was all like. Like approved all those techniques and stuff. And they it was almost documentary-ish how they set it up sometimes. They kind of gave you the news about what was legislated as like torture or not torture. And I don't know.
Yeah. It also sounds like it's based in reality with Willem Dafoe being a unit leader.
Because the guy's got a big dick.
You got big dick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's better with a mug like that.
His parts were good in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was this like bad guy in the military or whatever, Oscar Isaac's, supervisor. And so he meets this kid, I guess, a Ready Player One character I didn't recognize.
It's an actor you've seen in other shit. He was in that shitty Fantastic Four that came out.
I'm remembering him as not Jesse Eisenberg, right? It's like kind of.
There's like four Jesse Eisenbergs, depending on the haircut they have at any given time.
The dude from Whiplash.
Not Whiplash. That's another Jesse Eisenberg doppelganger. Yeah.
No, that guy was in Fantastic Four.
This guy was not that guy, I don't think. This guy has way more nose and lips. He was Parzival from, he was the main character in Ready Player One. You saw that. Anyways.
I didn't.
The kid kills his dad, and that's the end of the movie. Good job. We did it.
No. So yeah, Oscar Isaac meets this kid, and he's just kind of like a drifter or something. He's, I don't know, college age or whatever. And
lots of sleeveless T-shirts. Always looks like he just woke up. hate
Yeah,
this kid.
and he just he doesn't have like any interests or anything, but he's obsessed with punishing Willem Dafoe for what he made his dad do, or did he kill his dad when he tortured him too hard, or something like that.
Something.
But he needs revenge. His dad's dead now, and Willem Dafoe it's his fault somehow. So he needs revenge on Willem Dafoe. And when he first meets Oscar Isaac, he kind of like declares himself, and he's like, "I know you. I know you remember him. You remember what he made you and my dad do. Whatever this shit." But he's like basically like really thinly veiled, like saying that he's going to murder Willem Dafoe, and so Oscar Isaac like sort of tells him like that's a bad idea, or you don't really want to do that. And then he just like invites him to like come on the road with me and like come just hang out while I play poker and stuff. And then he gives him like walking around money and whatever. And he just kind of like checks in with him every once and again, like, hey, are you feeling any better? You still like kill Willem Dafoe? Okay, cool. And then eventually, like he basically, I think he gives him a bunch of money.
$150,000
or whatever. Yeah, and he tells him he threatens to. He's about to like torture the kid to death. Like he just shows up at a hotel room.
He brings
and
his
it's real
torture
creepy,
bag
and he's about to like, yeah. And then right before the torture starts, he kind of tells him, or go see your mother, some weird shit like that.
Call your mom.
Yeah. And so then
Call for John.
So he gives him this money and tells him, go see your mom, but sort of knowing that the kid is just going to like take it and go try to kill Willem Dafoe. So anyway, that's what happens is the kid tries, but Willem Dafoe murders him instead. And that means that Oscar Isaac now has to go. He has to be the one to kill Willem Dafoe, and just shows up and murders him, and then like calls the police and turns himself in immediately. And then Tiffany Haddish comes and visits him, and they touch hands through the glass, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, long shot on that one too. They held on that for fucking 4 minutes. Yeah, movie sucks.
So it's a movie you should see with your brother-in-law who's a film major. I think it's one of those. It's a little bit of a jack-off movie where like let's go have biscuits and talk about it afterwards. But no, I mean we did 5-10 minutes on like, oh, what was that supposed to mean? What was this?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. How about
I looked it up. This was not a Fantastic Foreman. This was an X-Men. You're looking for Ty Sheridan. He was young Scott Summers.
Okay. So what do you think of Kevin's breakdown? Is that all you were doing? Did you not?
No, well, so when he mentioned certain things about having a partner doing gambling, it actually reminded me of a movie with Ben Mendelsohn and Ryan Reynolds called Mississippi Grind.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's probably the better of the two gambling movies.
Okay, so here we go. I know, fuck Rotten Tomato, but critics 86. Oh Jesus, fucking ad blocker, leave me alone. It said, what does it say? 42 from the audience. So
all right, but I'm going to make the case that usually that high critics, low audience is like
it's going to win an Academy Award. I know. Green Book.
But a lot of times it's because of like some dumb like political themes or whatever that they just bake into it, and then the critics have to say it was good. But this movie didn't really have a lot of that, or maybe none of it at all.
No,
I mean, there was
all
it
the war
kind of
stuff
it was anti-war, but
it was like anti-torture. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even specifically the war. It was like torture is bad. It's horrible what it can do to a person. It's like, yeah, no shit.
But it wasn't about him being like, a trans, intersectional black, whatever lady.
Right.
So yeah, I think it is a movie that like, requires some, it's a little bit of an assignment, Like, you have to like think, and it's not going to be like easy. It's not going to be fun necessarily, but I think it is good. Probably doesn't sound like a great sell, but
I wouldn't watch it if I were you. There's only so many hours in the day. Were you trying to watch a sleepy Isaac movie that has like 3 competing themes and Tiffany Haddish? Skip it.
Yeah, and now Seinfeld is on Netflix too, so that's,
Am I going to rewatch Seinfeld? That's the question.
I'm already a couple seasons in, so
you beat Red Dead 2 and you're a couple seasons into Seinfeld. What is going on?
No, this is a good movie that had a couple pieces of valuable practical advice for for any gamblers who aren't smart.
Okay.
They had like good little nuggets.
Yeah.
Here's that huge place in a casino.
And I was on board.
You just eat money red or black on a roulette wheel if you're stupid.
Yeah.
They explained counting cards in a way that I'm not sure is entirely accurate, but was like very easy to sort of pick up in 2 minutes.
And then I was on board for all the like poker stuff. Like it was on until kind of like the second act or something like 30% into the movie that I started to be like, I think we're watching a movie I don't like. The opinion was formed early.
What about did you enjoy the light scene? Just that the psychedelic light scene?
No.
Really?
No. They went to...
Disappointing.
They went to the what is it? What does the zoo call it? Just zoo lights. They went to zoo lights, cool, and walked around, had a moment. And then they did this
but it was like
obvious CG pull out where it was just like all CG'd over. Oh, and then that artist they kept playing during all those scenes, it would be like some moody, like Toolish sounding shit that would come out. I'd be like, I think the only reason they made this movie is that the director is trying to promote his nephew's band. Like, and so we kept making that joke every time because it was the same kind of music, like just fucking real serious and deep and electronic a little bit. And then they're panning out on that light. No, not sad, annoying. Ugh. Yeah. You had a deep conversation afterwards. Me and my wife, we were like, fuck, man, we need to, what now? Anything else? And then she lost the ability to pick a movie when we sit down for like the next like couple weeks at least. So that's a win for me. I get a pick.
I think we're saying the same thing. We're saying that we liked it a lot, and everyone should see it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was better than no. I would rather not watched it. Never mind. But
it's didn't it just feel? Didn't it feel high quality with all the? It made it look a little bit old with the. Everything had like kind of a dull finish to it.
Everyone's costumes and all of the lighting and the cinematography and the pacing seemed fine. I just couldn't give a shit about any of those characters. And Tiffany Haddish had like 3 versions of that lady because she's not that type of actress. And then Oscar Isaac was fine. And then I just couldn't figure that kid out. It was like, this is going to happen. This kid's a pile of shit. Every scene he's in, he's like not willing to do the buddy movie, like grow thing that a character should do in a movie. He just kind of stays the same sleeveless t-shirt bitch the whole movie and then does what you're expecting him to do. And then the movie ends. And the guy you actually like goes to jail.
Right. It's kind of cool though that he
and then there's shocking sequences of torture mixed in, like shocking shit that anyone would look at and be like, "Oh, that's fucking bothering,"
But I just like how he decides that it's okay to like basically sacrifice this kid because he is like such a piece of shit. Like he gives him a chance. Like he gives him weeks of. Come on! What do you
Don't
think
be
you
a
might
piece of
want,
shit anymore? Stop
what
eating
do you,
those sloppy
what do you
steaks.
want to do in life? And then he gives him the chance of like even I'm telling you to go see your mom, and if you do that, then you won't die. And I know that I'll have to be the one that goes and kills him.
Maggie, Kevin really liked that movie.
It's a good movie.
She said it's because you like poker.
No, I thought she crawled in here to voice her approval for the movie.
Yeah, she just rose up from under my desk. You do the math. What are we doing?
I want the phone cord.
Oh, she needs the phone charger.
No, I thought that was. I thought that was like an interesting and like kind of amusing notion where he's like, entertaining. Is it okay? Just sort of sacrifice this kid, or not, and then eventually he decides it's okay if he decides to do this instead of seeing his mom. That would be fine. And then he still just has the part that is like kind of extra easy for me to appreciate from the poker standpoint is just like imagining him sort of doing the overall like value function of, all right, what happens if he goes to see his mom? Okay, but then there's also if he goes to try to kill him and he's unsuccessful versus successful. Like it's kind of a fun or whatever for me to just like imagine him doing all that math and then like deciding, yep, this is what I should do. And he's doing all this as he's like trying to weigh the value of his new life, where he gets to be in love with Tiffany Haddish. Like if she doesn't come along, it's a lot easier for him to just say, I'll go, I'll kill the guy, whatever, and then I'll spend the rest of my life in jail. Who am I?
Right.
Because I kind of like jail better anyway, right?
Right. Yeah, that's where.
But once he meets her, his life becomes not one that he wants to make into a jail cell. It's he's thinking about going out and becoming part of the real world and whatnot, but he knows that this guy has to die. So I think what he wanted was he wanted for the kid to go there and succeed in killing him so that he could go have a happy life with Tiffany Haddish. And then it doesn't work out that way. He has to go to jail, and even then you think he probably, well, that sucks. He's probably never going to see her again. And then lo and behold, she shows up as a visitor. So it's kind of a happy ending in that he gets a little bit of the look at the happy life.
Yeah.
But then it's also a bummer for her because she's going to hang out and just like be enmeshed with this guy who's in prison.
That's not going to last long. She's going to move on.
But she also had the same thing he had where it was like, I want to avoid, I'm so unhappy with everything else in the world that I'm just going to make my life about kind of like small spaces and card rooms and stuff like that.
Right.
Like that was her deal too. So now she gets to, they both get to abstain from like regular existence together. And they don't get to bang, so it's sad. But.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I watched a different movie. I mean, everything you said makes sense for sure. I just, maybe I wasn't in the right, headspace for that type of movie. I did sit down blindly, like, oh, Oscar Isaac. I think his eyes are beautiful. Let's see what's going on here. And then I got sucked in, and then I'm there, and I felt like 45 minutes of it. I was out.
It is heavy as shit, and with less of a payoff to it than Taxi Driver. But I still think really good.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Joe? Is it good or bad?
I think I'll watch it based on just.
I think you have to now. We talked about it for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin is that the poster for the movie I see behind you? He's got the poster back there. Yeah.
It's not what that is.
You bought it.
It's a much less handsome man.
Are you going to buy the film on Blu-ray in case the internet collapses and you can never stream anything again and you can watch it still at your house?
No, this is not my favorite film.
Okay. You're just saying it was a worthwhile experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's my... it might be my favorite film that I've seen this year.
Okay.
That I've seen for the first time this year.
Okay. This is the part of the podcast where I tell you 10 other movies that came out in 2021 that were better than fucking Oscar Isaac and
Love this
Sleeveless T-shirt. We'll start these, and these are in no particular order. We'll start at the beginning here. Movies that are better than the movie that we saw. Free Guy. Black Widow. old
No.
Jungle
No.
Cruise. I didn't.
No,
I
don't care what
just reading
the
movies
comparison
now.
is.
Well,
Black Widow's not better than anything.
and that still works. You see what I'm saying? That still works. That's how confident I am. F9, Cruella, Spiral, Joe. No, nobody.
You're being silly. Nobody I might have liked more than this.
Why? Because things happened in it.
A lot of things happened in it. Yeah, I mean, nobody was like... nobody might have been my favorite action movie ever. Like, that was...
Well, you can't compare this movie to those kind of movies, too, because like you said, this isn't something you're going to ever rewatch. It's like, I saw that movie, yeah, and I liked it, yeah.
Which one am I not going to rewatch? Nobody?
The card counter.
I might rewatch it, so...
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Nobody was way more well executed for what it was, I think. I loved Nobody.
I kept joking during the card counter that Laura Dern was going to show up at some point and tell Oscar Isaac to like start being lame and like not do loop-de-loops in his spaceship and stuff.
Is that a Star Wars joke?
She was a big part of why the second one in the new trilogy.
Can't tell you the plan, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. I'm a woman. I have purple hair. I'm a woman. Get used to listening to me. I'm your commanding officer. And he just wants to do corkscrews in his fucking X-Wing. You thought this movie would be fun? No. Laura Dern's here, okay? Everyone settle down.
More like Laura Stern.
No, because if she was Laura Stern, then she'd at least like have a homeless guy throw up in a hooker's mouth or something, and we could all laugh at that. Have a midget there.
Oh,
or
she's
a little
charger.
person. Yeah. Do you need another charger? What's going on now? You're all over Twitch right now, in your pajam jams, and you're walking in here.
Laura Dern reminds me of J.K. Rowling. Wow.
Joe's on here too. J.K.
Right.
Rowling. Okay.
Don't they look the same?
Oh, I thought you meant because like she got political on Twitter or something, or something happened.
Well, I think J.K. got political in the other direction. She was anti-woke. I believe.
Right, and everyone freaked out because they were like, "But you're an artist, and you're supposed to be this one way, and you're not."
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I just think their faces are similar.
Oh, similar looking.
Similar looks.
Okay,
Yep.
for sure. Oh, excuse me. Do you guys don't follow me on Instagram, do you?
No, I don't have an Instagram.
You're fucking killing me.
Yeah, same.
I got back into 3D modeling, and the Inktober challenge is going on right now, and the not drinking has like really helped with getting some of that shit done and getting more art made and stuff. And so the day 5 challenge was Raven, and I didn't want to just draw a Raven. I thought that'd be boring. And so I was like, for another project, I've been needing to reacquaint myself with like 3D modeling and sculpting and then the render software and shit. And so I pulled it off basically is the long story short. And I made this sick like black spaceship, and I did it with a technique that's like in the like special effects world, or like, I think it probably was coined on the set of like Star Wars, but it's like kit bashing. Do you know what this is, Joe? Where you just take like a whole bunch of model kits and you lay them out, and you just take whatever parts you want, and you can kind of piece them into something other than what you would be supposed to.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Kit bashing. Anyways, and so I did it, but like in VR, and I sculpted it in VR, and I painted it in VR, and then I rendered it on my computer in this really sexy photo with the lighting, and I got a bunch of different angles, and I don't know. Fucking turned out to be the shit. I didn't even get a bunch of like no one really like commented on it or said they liked it or anything or whatever. And I think it's just because it's so fucking well done that it looks like it's just a screenshot from a video game or a movie or something. Like, oh, here's a spaceship. Here's some concept art from a movie or something. I'll send it to you guys now in the group chat. But yeah, was stoked. High level, like I don't know, you guys. I'm sure we can compare it to something else, but it's like just like that fucking passion, super fucking, I don't know, like adrenaline almost kind of feeling of when you're creating something or making something and it's like, oh shit, this is why I'm doing this. This is that sweet, that good. I don't know how else to explain it, but I sent you the images. Basically, it's just like a all black spaceship with like these thrusters, and it's got this big dome, like cockpit on it, and like the front of it goes down to kind of look like a beak. And I don't know. It's so funny that Inktober challenges, it started as make an ink drawing every day, and then there was like a big argument in 2018, like should digital art be allowed, just black and white digital art, and then Inktober finally stepped out and they said, you know what, you can do whatever you want. You can write a song, you can make a sculpture, you know, have fun out there, kids. So I always think I need to like remind.
I like that. That kind of reminds me of like some He-Man shit where they would strap maybe mechanical stuff to a real living being.
All right. All the little pipes and, you know, the landing gear and all that stuff.
Yeah, no,
fun.
Yeah, obviously this thing is not a living being, but like the mask of it and the mechanical wings,
right?
Seems like they could fit right on there.
Yeah. So that was like my big kind of recent like fucking resurgence of life, was getting that accomplished. And, you know, it was like, oh fuck, I can do this. That's right. You know, just a nice little thing that happened to me a couple days ago. Or no, last night I made this. 2 days ago I made this. I think it's sick though.
Could have also done that wrestler from the late 90s, that Raven.
Right. I was thinking about drawing that lady from That's So Raven. I thought that would have been funny.
Mm-hmm.
Many people just did Edgar Allan Poe.
There was a lot of Poe art, and there was a lot of just
common one.
Yeah, there was a lot of just I'm a Raven sitting on.
How many people did Joe Flacco?
I didn't see any Flacco.
Okay.
Ray Lewis is the much scarier Raven because he actually murdered 2 people.
Oh my god!
That's true.
There were a couple Ravens. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a team name.
Oh, you said it was a team name. Okay, I thought it was a wrestler called the Raven.
No, well, yeah, I mean, several different references to Raven. And
did they have a whole Edgar Allan Poe bit, or were they like Nevermore and then suplex you or whatever?
Yeah, he was like a real, dirty emo kid or whatever.
Real thin and pale.
Nah, he wore jorts and a leather jacket and a flannel tied around his waist.
Okay.
And he had real grungy hair, and he would he had like lackeys or whatever who would do his bidding a lot. So he would he would give somebody like one DDT and then kind of like sit down in the corner while they beat him up, and then he would just say emo things on a mic, and then it would always end with quote the Raven, nevermore.
Oh, there you go.
He was Andy Tabor's favorite wrestler.
Oh, that says a lot. I know. Yeah, I know that guy was. He always had jean shorts on.
He had a very good moveset in the WCW games, World Tour and Revenge, or maybe he wasn't in both, but definitely Revenge. Yep. That DDT would either finish you or get blood on your opponent.
Yeah,
a lot of times because it was head strike.
That was the quintessential ending a match with the other person just dying. Like there was a mode in that game where like they would bleed too hard and that was it. It was just over. And it seemed like it seemed like that was a finishing move that triggered that ending of a lot of matches.
Yeah, Raven was definitely one of the better characters to beat the shit out of your opponent, and then they would flop around and the referee would call it for sure.
Oh man. Carl, you shouldn't miss the episodes. Sometimes we talk about Ravens from the WWE or F or whichever.
And then he had Carl would love to tell you, he had a podcast too, or maybe still does, that was actually pretty listenable, where he would have like guests or, people from the old wrestling days, but they were like real goofy, like sort of threads to it, like slide whistles and stuff, like just like
Carl
super
loves
silly
the slide whistle, man.
like kind of DJ Dog type moments or whatever, or DJ Dog Pound.
A lot of audio drops and stuff.
Yeah. And like, spamming audio drops where it's like stutter. Yeah. It's good.
This is The Raven? Because I thought you said the group was called The Raven.
Whose podcast was this?
Raven.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so Raven's a group or one wrestler?
It's one guy, and his group was The Flock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the next
one of the Flock guys was like a gay homeless kid, who would always wear like hot pants, like leather hot pants, and then like no shirt, and earring on the gay side, and then he would like carry around signs, like he would just write stuff on the signs about like whatever city they were in.
Okay.
Or but yeah, just some gay runaway teen named Lodi.
Oh God. And it was Andy Tabor's favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Everything about this guy was Andy Tabor.
On brand Tabor, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No doubt. For the listeners, Andy Tabor was a moody boy that went to our high school. Lots of rollerblading.
Did he have an Atticus t-shirt or several?
No, he was...
I'm not sure if he was allowed to... His dad was a pastor, so
yeah.
I don't know if he was allowed to get that edgy. He probably had some Reliant K t-shirts.
Yeah. What's the frying pan? Skillet?
Skillet, yeah. He definitely had Skillet shirts.
Confirmed Skillet. Oh, man. That was like 20 years ago that we were in high school. You believe that?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Used to be young.
Yep.
Now we're old.
That's how it goes, and we're going to get older. Prepare for your 60s, Joe.
Yeah.
I think we did a podcast, right? Wrap it up?
Yeah, that felt okay, for our first one in 5 weeks, whatever it's been.
I'd rather listen to that podcast than watch the movie Card Counter. Say that much.
I was promised trivia questions, though.
We got them. Kevin gave us the movie quiz. Remember?
Yeah, do a real game.
All right,
do a real game for Joe. You promised.
All right. Let me get my trivia. It's in the other room. It's on a jump drive.
Get Maggie to bring it in. She's got all the chargers.
So, Joe, we going to make this a regular thing? You being on the podcast?
If we can get it going at a reasonable time and date,
okay,
could definitely show up.
So Joe says he'll continue to be on the podcast if we can do it at a reasonable time.
Well, I know, but I don't think there is a reasonable time that I can commit to every week,
Okay.
I'm more of an unreasonable time kind of do this podcast kind of guy.
How?
Okay. Do you want more movie trivia, or what are you in the mood for? I kind of want to do another movie trivia.
Okay. If that's what you want.
Okay. So we talked a lot about Oscar Isaac and Tiffany Haddish and all those thespians in that film Card Counter. So we're going to do some other card/poker style movies.
Okay.
And
feels like one I should be able to compete in, hopefully.
Yeah, there's a lot of poker movies, my guy. So yeah, I will describe the box art for the movie. That'll be your hint.
Box art?
Yeah. I'll describe what's going on in the box art of the film, the main movie poster, and then you will name the movie. Okay?
Is this U.S. or European or Japanese?
What do you think, Joe?
I don't know.
What country are we broadcasting from? What country were we all born in?
Okay. So we're going U.S.
Jesus Christ. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. I see 3 individuals, 2 males and a female. Females in the middle. Females in the middle. Rounders is correct. You got it.
God damn it. How did you get
that? Was always going to be the first one.
All right, here's your next...
Famke Johnson is the female, probably.
Here's your next card movie.
No, it could...
It's either her or the bitchy girlfriend.
Yeah, the one from the Kevin Smith movies.
All right, so there's I see some stairs. There's a man. There's also a woman far in the background. Didn't even notice her until I pulled up the full-size version of the poster here. This man is walking. He looks like he's in a hurry. He's in a tuxedo, but the tie Casino Royale is correct. A point on the board for Kevin. 1-1. All right, here's your next.
Well.
Here's your next.
Well. Goldfinger.
Okay. Here's your next movie poster. All right, I see two men, also a similar setup as the Rounders poster. Two men and a woman. Woman's in the middle.
Casino.
Lucky number 11.
They're to the woman's left is a small kind of end table looking thing that has a bunch of chips on it, bunch of poker chips of different colors, and then also on this table is an oil lamp, like an oil burning lamp, an old timey lamp. Let's see.
Lamp.
She has a very pretty blue dress on, and she has a fan in her
velvet
in her right hand.
Blue Cincinnati Kid.
The two men in the back are very dapper themselves. One with a mustache, one with not. They appear to be wearing late 1800s clothing, early 1900s clothing. Can't be sure. Kind of like puffy ties and vests. You might say cowboy type dress up stuff that you wear.
The cowboy way.
No.
Cowboys.
One of the people on the front of the cover is it's fucking Jodie Foster. I see Jodie Foster there. She's all dolled up. Maverick is correct. Good job. And we'll do one more, and unless Kevin can tie it up. Good luck, Kevin. Good luck, Joe. Both performed very well so far. Trying to find a good one. Install. And, found one. Here we go. All right. There is two men. This appears to be more of like a craps type movie. And one of them's throwing a dice. No, one of them's throwing a dice, and it's kind of flying into the foreground of the poster.
Ocean's 11.
Swingers.
No, this came out in 2015. I don't think I saw this thing.
21?
2015. I remember hearing about it. The tagline is a great American movie. I see Ryan Reynolds and I see Ben Mendelsohn.
Mississippi Grind.
Mississippi Grind is correct.
Literally just said that.
Yeah.
Thanks, dog.
No problem, dog. I got you. All right.
You should watch that.
Joe wins.
It's got Ryan Reynolds. Real recommendation? Am I going to like it?
Yeah, no, this is actually a good movie. Ben Mendelsohn's always pretty money, I think.
I like him. I don't think he's done a bad movie.
I think I don't know who that is. I can't imagine his face right now, but I think I like this guy. Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he's in...
Once again, Ready Player One.
Right. He's in a Star Wars movie. He's in that one Netflix movie about the family bloodline.
That was my... Mendelsohn introduction was Bloodline, and I really like that show.
He's just always a real piece of shit.
He was, so Allison actually told me that she thinks I look like this guy, and I thought that was insulting.
I don't see it, but I can also see why he would be insulted. But he's also, like, ugly, I think.
Maybe when you get older, Kevin, maybe when you grow up.
Yeah, I mean, he used to be young, right?
Yeah. I think when you grow up,
when he's young, he seems handsome.
Yeah, when you grow up, you'll look like that probably.
Okay.
No, yeah, I haven't seen that. I can't say. Is it funny, Joe, or is it like a drama?
No, it's a pretty drama. There might be some Ryan Reynolds marks here and there, but yeah, it's a drama.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll watch that, and then Joe, you watch Card Counter, and then we'll follow up in a month, you know?
Like it, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I think that's a pod. If you're still here with us, have a good rest of your whatever you're experiencing right now, your shit, your your day, your morning. Kevin, Joe, any parting words for the listeners?
Just it would be a weird time for somebody to be wrapping up the shit. I don't know. I mean, I guess they could have got 2 hours into it and all of a sudden needed to shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But also, who listens to a podcast while they shit? That's weird. Yeah,
I'll leave a podcast on and just do the speaker in. Sometimes I take it with me into the bathroom. Sometimes I'll leave it in the other room and just turn it up a little bit.
Depends on what kind of shit it's going to be. Yeah.
But yeah, I usually don't start a podcast just to shit.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll prep and download them for later while I shit.
Yeah, enjoy your shits. I don't know.
Joe, say goodbye to everybody, man.
It's nice to shit in the morning if you're going to go work out or whatever. It's nice to shit first. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like you need to, but you'll have a better workout a lot of times.
No, it's always nice to shit in the morning.
I'm a morning shitter too. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to leave something in. It's 1 o'clock, and what are you doing? I'm in the middle of work, or am I watching Judge Judy? I don't have to get up and shit.
No. Oh, but you guys have real jobs. I don't poop that early. I poop like 10 or 11.
I usually don't poop until after breakfast, though, unless I make myself do it before the workout.
This is all bonus content for the Patreon, right?
I don't know.
Shit,
we still do one of those?
We're still on the regular.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. Don't get COVID and continue to not use your fucking turn signal and think the whole world revolves around you. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Podcast. Right now.